Avina or Shanti, just checking if you can hear me. Avina, can you hear me? Avina, can Vanilene, can you hear me?
Shanti sister.
Hello, can anyone hear? Hello, can anyone hear?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay, we're gonna try this with, I got some other speakers, so you could just let me know what's happening, right?
Okay, are you in front of the computer at the moment?
I'm in front of the computer and I got these Bluetooth earpieces so that I can leave the computer far away. So you'll let me know what's happening, right?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
हमको हमारे मिले, भाग्य के द्वारे खुले, हमको हमारे मिले, आए जीवन में ये बहार तुमसे ओ बाबा। जुड़ गई है मन की तार तुमसे, शक्तियाँ मिल रही अपार तुमसे। पिता सद्गुरु सखा तुम्ही तो एक हमारे हो, शिक्षक तुम्ही रक्षक तुम्ही, दिल के तुम्ही सहारे हो, मिला सारे रिश्तों का प्यार तुमसे ओ बाबा। जुड़ गई है मन की तार तुमसे, शक्तियाँ मिल रही अपार तुमसे। दुनिया से दूर तारों के गाँव तुम मुझे ले आए हो, कांटों से दूर फूलों की छाँव में मुझे बिठाए हो, किरणों की बाहों का तुमसे ओ बाबा। जुड़ गई है मन की तार तुमसे, शक्तियाँ मिल रही अपार तुमसे, भाग्य के द्वारे खुले, हमको हमारे मिले, आए जीवन में बहार तुमसे ओ बाबा। जुड़ गई है मन की तार तुमसे, शक्तियाँ मिल रही अपार तुमसे। जुड़ गई है मन की तार तुमसे।
स्वरूपों का चिंतन करे, आए अनुभव करे, आत्मदर्शन करे, अपने पांचों स्वरूपों का चिंतन करे, अपने पांचों स्वरूपों का चिंतन करे, आए अनुभव करे। अनादि रूप रच कर तन भान तज कर, अनादि रूप रच कर तन भान तज कर, परम धाम चल दे स्मृतियों से सज कर।
प्रभु पास आकर किरण में नहाकर, उन सावन यादों में हम समा कर,
से कल्प तरु का सिंचन करे, आए अनुभव करे। धरे रूप उतरे जो संपूर्ण पावन, अपनी वो दुनिया स्वर्गिक सुहावन।
धरे रूप उतरे जो संपूर्ण पावन, अपनी वो दुनिया स्वर्गिक सुहावन।
अपने धरती गगन मंद पावन पवन, नाथ त्रिभुवन के हम लेते थे सुख सगन। आदि रूप आँखों में अभिनंदन करे, आए अनुभव करे, आत्मदर्शन करे, अपने पांचों स्वरूपों का चिंतन करे, आए अनुभव करे। देखे द्वापर में मंदिर में पूजा हुई, देखे द्वापर में मंदिर में पूजा हुई। पूज्य हम ही तो थे वो ना दूजा कोई।
वो कतारों में करबद्ध करते नमन, वो कतारों में करबद्ध करते नमन।
करते पूर्ण कामना भक्त वत्सल नयन, कितनी श्रद्धा से वो भक्ति पूजन करे, आए अनुभव करे, आत्मदर्शन करे, अपने पांचों स्वरूपों का चिंतन करे, आए अनुभव करे।
चलते चलते काल चक्र जो पूरा हुआ, चलते चलते काल चक्र जो पूरा हुआ। संगम में अपनों से संगम हुआ।
भाग्य द्वारे खुले हमको भगवन मिले, भाग्य द्वारे खुले हमको भगवन मिले। लग के प्रभु के गले भाग्य लिखने लगे, ब्रह्मवंशी ब्राह्मण ज्ञान गुंजन करे, आए अनुभव करे, आत्मदर्शन करे, अपने पांचों स्वरूपों का चिंतन करे, आए अनुभव करे। करके पावन प्रकृति विश्व बदलेंगे हम, करके पावन प्रकृति विश्व बदलेंगे हम। आप सा बाबा बन तन से निकलेंगे हम। धुन है आपके कथन पे खुद को अर्पण करें, आए अनुभव करें, आत्मदर्शन करें, अपने पांचों स्वरूपों का चिंतन करें। आए अनुभव करें, आत्मदर्शन करें, अपने पांचों स्वरूपों का चिंतन करें। आए अनुभव करें, आए अनुभव करें।
Sister Veni, may we unmute the computer?
Please unmute it.
Right, now we can hear. Okay, let's test out this new system. Let's see how it goes, Sister Usha.
Today is really the world is celebrating Christmas Day. Something very beautiful was shared about, imagine two little babies were in a mother's room and they're having a discussion.
Sorry, Sister Usha.
India?
It's not clear. Maybe we can just do take a minute or two just to test to see if we can get it a bit clearer. The sound is a bit muffled.
Is it because you think you've got a mic as well? Yes, the mic.
So you've got two mics.
All seems to be okay. We need to have the light here on, I think.
So I'm thinking because there's two mics, you'll have one volume to the mic in the in front of you, the red mic, and there's another mic on your earpiece. Is there any way that that mic can be attached to your red mic?
I don't think so. It's all in one piece. There's nothing more attached to it.
Okay, then I suggest maybe bring the laptop closer to you so then we can hear you. And maybe just drop the red mic so then your voice projects into the laptop.
Is that okay?
Beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you, Ben. Thank you so much.
So let's go back to the little story of the two babies in the mother's womb, and they having a little discussion. So the one baby is saying, I don't think that there's a life after this. This is it. The other one says, no, just imagine after this, we'll actually come out and we'll actually be able to do like walk and do different things. The other one is saying, no, because we're in this, we're getting fed by this cord, and we got everything we need here. But once we come out of here, we won't have no form of sustenance. And the other was saying, no, maybe we'll become independent and we'll be able to find our own food. And so there's this discussion happening between the two. And so just to think about the experience of the babies in the womb, they don't have the awareness of this mother who is a living being who can eventually show them and teach them and guide them. For them in that moment, they're just living in their reality of what is inside. So if we think about it like in relationship to God and our relationship with Brahma Baba as well, practically, we can't really see Shiv Baba, we can't really see how Baba is sustaining us, but it's happening, isn't it? So it's so beautiful just to see that kind of physical contrast, is that for each one of us to be able to understand that if it wasn't for that beautiful guidance from our Supreme Mother, and I like to think about Supreme Mother and our sweet Mother Brahma as well, because both of them are the ones that are giving us so much in terms of giving us the empowerment to do it ourselves. It's easy to do it for someone, but to actually have the faith and trust to give them the guidance that they do it themselves is perhaps the highest thing we can do. So I like this idea that for each one of us to have this relationship, to see how Baba is training us, guiding us, giving us real life experiences. But what it molds us into is individuals that then have their own strength and own support. And today's Murli is a very beautiful Murli because Baba is talking about newness. It's connected to like the end of the year, and Baba's speaking about new year. But the newness that Baba is talking about is at the level at which we are thinking, the words we're speaking, the interaction we're having. And if you look at what it is that has changed for us in terms of, first of all, just thinking about ourselves as being bodies, and then moving from that awareness of being a body to actually being an invisible being of light. And knowing from that form, we can achieve everything. It's something that only when we really are in a physical, compromise where the body can't work, and maybe from time to time we've all had that experience of physical illness, challenges where the physical things just don't work. And then we perhaps count a little bit more on that eternal relationship, that supreme power, where we can only in a sense, surrender and say, my hands can't do, my head is not working, people around me can't do anything. And another connection is kind of dependent on. And when that happens, we then see the magic of really what Baba does. And from time to time, when these things happen, if we ask the question why, then we're just going to keep asking why. But if we can see this is why, then we can see the growth and progress. So I really love today's Murli in the way that Baba is showing us the different ways in which we can use our words, we can use our thoughts, we can connect with our relationships, even with our karma, how we use karma in the correct way. And I think this is something that each one of us through our day-to-day lives can only experiment with. I don't think anybody can convince you, because this knowledge is not about a head. It comes with something deep inside that needs to shift. I think it was another story that I was sharing with a group of people about how there was a young boy who wanted to be a sannyasi. So he went to the sannyasi to, get teachings and training and stuff like that. So the sannyasi looked at this guy and he saw that he's very young, he's strong, he's capable. He said to him, okay, you know what I want you to do is that the ashram was a little bit out of the way of the village. And he said, I want you to construct a house in our ashram and you'll need to do it all by yourself. Now, if you already became a sannyasi, I don't think you have a car and I don't think you have any resources. But the task was you have to do it alone. Wherever and however you get the supplies, you need to build a house. So it takes him a fair amount of time and he gets the house constructed. And then what happens is that once the house is built, he goes back to his sannyasi teacher and he says, okay, the house is built, what shall I do? He says, okay, I want you to burn the house. So that night he puts the house on fire. The next morning it's burned to ashes. Then he says, okay, the house is burnt. What do I do next? He says, I want you to build another house, again, without help from anybody, and construct the house. So again, he does it. And then after the house is built, he goes back to the sannyasi and he says, burn the house. And he does it again. And then the next day he gets the direction to build another house. This happens 7 times. Now, I want you to just for a moment, as you hear this and think about where you've done things over and over and you had to redo it again and again. And someone out of sheer just the feeling of doing it, not because it's incorrect, tells you, no, sorry, come again, do it again. I don't want it like that. What are the feelings that will happen, the energy that will build up in you? Now, this is for you to reflect, right? Anyway, after 7 times, when he goes back to the sannyasi guru, he says, okay, done deal, don't do anything. But in the meantime, all the other sannyasis in the ashram were meditating, were part of discourses, had the opportunity to learn and elevate themselves. Now, this young man came into the ashram with that very intention to elevate himself, to be taught, to be educated. And he got a very physical task to build a house. But after 7 times doing it, guess what happened to him? Something inside changed. And every bit of enlightenment that perhaps he would have got by just reading somebody else's thoughts and ideas, he realized it for himself. So think about frustration, irritation, rejection, not feeling value, all the things we may have experienced when somebody doesn't acknowledge what we've done or makes our time go to waste, all that feeling. So imagine after 7 times, he conquers every bit of that emotion. So if you think about it, what is our spiritual education all about? It's not how much knowledge we acquire, what we gain in terms of what we think we have, but a shift that comes from inside where I'm free from those feelings. And so today you will see what Baba is talking about in terms of newness. And I think it's very beautiful just to see that if we bring newness in our thoughts on this level, in our words, in our actions, in our relationships, then our study is over. It's like that's really what it's all about. But in getting there, obviously, we're all using different methods. Now in that ashram, others were given books to read, different things to do. But this young man's assignment was build, burn, build, burn, build, burn, and the enlightenment came. So Baba's Murli today was spoken by Baba on the 31st of December, 1990. And the date today is the 8th of May. The title is Tapasya is the Great greatest celebration of all. So in the 90s, Baba declared 4 years of tapasya. Some of you will remember we had to do at least 4 hours of sitting yoga. This was one of the requirements. So today, Bab Dada is giving congratulations of love to the children everywhere, to the children who experience a new life, a new attitude, a new vision, a new world with new knowledge. At the present moment, children everywhere are watching the present divine scenes on the television of their hearts. Something you can think about is, what is that television and why do you see it in the television of your heart? Everyone has only one thought: to experience closeness whilst being far away. Bab Dada is also seeing all the children. Bab Dada is hearing the music of the greetings of new zeal and enthusiasm from the hearts of the children. The sound coming from every one of the variety of music filled with love is very beautiful. This is why Bab Dada is responding in return. Congratulations for all time, for the new year, for the new zeal and enthusiasm, and for bringing about divinity in yourself at all times. This is the punchline. Congratulations for all time, for the new year, for the new zeal and enthusiasm, and for bringing about divinity in yourself at all times. Greetings are being given just for today, for the new year, but every moment of the confluence age brings about newness in the lives of the children who fulfill the responsibility of eternal love to the eternal Father. This is why at every moment you receive imperishable congratulations from the imperishable Father. It's like if you can sit back and think, that's what I used to do, but I don't do that anymore. And that's the most important thing. If you just continue doing what you always done, then it's like we are stuck in some time warp. All of you Brahmins are moving forward due to Bab Dada's special congratulations of happiness. The basis of sustenance in Brahmin life is congratulations. You are continuing to move forward with happiness of congratulations. You receive congratulations at all times from the form of the Father, from the form of the teacher. The words, well done, makes you pass with honors. Blessings from the form of the Sadguru for every elevated action make you experience life being easy and enjoyable. This is why you are multi-million times fortunate. So one thing, Baba always tells us to keep a chart. I think one thing we must add to our chart: did I have fun today? Did I enjoy my day today? Did I enjoy being alive today? You have become the children of God, the bestower of fortune. That is, you have claimed the right of the whole fortune. People give special greetings on special days. Do you receive greetings only at New Year? After the first, when it becomes the second, do you stop? Do the greetings stop? For you, every moment is always special. The confluence age is the special age, the age of greetings. Every day at Amrit Vela, you receive greetings from the Father, do you not? This day is being celebrated as New Year in name, but always remember that every moment is a moment of pleasure. There is pleasure and nothing but pleasure, is there not? If anyone were to ask you what you have in your life, what would you reply? There is pleasure and nothing but pleasure. I'm not even seeing some of your faces. So Baba says, there is pleasure and nothing but pleasure. You experience all the pleasure of the whole cycle in this life. So think about 84 births. At least the first half was golden and silver age. Think about what happened then. So Baba says, in this one birth, the pleasure of the whole cycle. We should be so happy that our heads are spinning. Baba says, you experience all the pleasure of the whole cycle in this life because the experience of the pleasure of meeting the Father gives you the experience of having a right to the kingdom and a right of becoming worthy of worship for the whole cycle. So, so often there's an experience of confidence in life. We learn few things, we have a position, so we gain confidence. But even though I have confidence, do I have value for myself? And this idea that Baba is saying, I'm making you become worthy, that first certificate is when I can really value myself. So then Baba says, what will you do this year? You will bring about newness, will you not? This year has to be celebrated as a year of festivity. So we were sitting for 4 hours every day. Baba saying it's a year of festivity. But celebrating with God is the festivity. So are you thinking, are we going to do tapasya? Or are we going to have celebrations? Tapasya is the greatest celebration of all because you are not going to do Hatha Yoga anyway. Tapasya means to experience pleasure with the Father, the pleasure of meeting, the pleasure of having all attainments, the pleasure of experiencing closeness, and the pleasure of a stage of being equal. So this is a celebration, is it not? You will not have very large celebrations for service, but the atmosphere of tapasya will pull souls and attract them to Baba even more than any celebration with words. Tapasya is such a spiritual magnet that it enables souls to experience peace and power from a distance. Tapasya is such a spiritual magnet that it enables souls to experience peace and power from a distance. What newness will you bring about in yourself? It is newness that everyone loves. So always check yourself. Today, what particular speciality did I bring about in my mind? That is, in the power of my thoughts. So today, what particular speciality did I bring about in my mind, that is, the power of my thoughts? And to what extent did the service with my mind, that is, with the method of having good wishes and pure feelings for other souls, increase? This means, what newness did you bring about in your elevated stage? Along with that, to what extent they bring about the newness of sweetness, contentment, and easiness in my words? The words of Brahman souls are not ordinary words. You need to experience in words these three aspects for yourselves and for others: sweetness, contentment, and easiness. This is known as newness. Along with these, newness in every action means that every action should make you and other souls experience attainment. You should experience instant fruit as well as the accumulation of the future fruit of karma. At the present time, you should experience the contentment of happiness and power as the instant fruit, and experience accumulation for the future. You will then constantly experience yourself to be complete and perfect. Let the seed of karma be filled with the tree of attainment. Let the seed of karma be filled with the seed of attainment. It should not be empty. A soul who is full naturally has spiritual intoxication. Have you performed actions of such newness? Along with that, what newness do you have to bring about in your relationships and connections? This year, you should experience the consciousness of being a master bestower, the children of the bestower. Whether you form a connection or a relationship with a Brahman soul or an ordinary soul, let that soul experience attainment from a master bestower. They may receive courage, they may receive zeal and enthusiasm, they may receive peace or power, they may easily make progress or receive happiness. Let them find an easy way to experience themselves to be growing in their experiences. You have to give something or another to each one. You must not take, but give. The receiving is merged in the giving. However, I, the soul, have to be a master bestower. In this way, you have to bring about the newness of becoming the same as the Father in your nature and sanskaras. There shouldn't be the consciousness of my nature. Whatever is the Father's nature is my nature. The sanskaras of Brahma are the sanskaras of Brahmins. In this way, bring about newness in yourselves every day, and the new world will then automatically be established. So do you understand what you have to do in the new year? Celebrate the completion ceremony of that which has happened in the past year and celebrate the present equality and closeness to Baba. Also have a celebration for your future constant success. Celebrate the year of festivity and keep flying. You, double foreigner, prefer to stay in pleasure, do you not? In order to stay in pleasure, remember two words. Firstly, dot, and secondly, not. You know what to say not to, that is, Maya is not allowed. Do you know how to say not? Or will you allow her a little? Put a dot and it will become not. You have double intoxication, do you not? What will the residents of Bharat do? Bharat is a great land. This is the slogan nowadays. The great souls of Bharat are remembered as the Mahatmas. So since Bharat is great, the people of Bharat are also great. Through your greatness, at all times, you make Bharat into a place of great souls, a place of deity souls in the corporeal form. The pictures will finish and the places of living deity souls will be revealed to everyone, will it not? So you aren't double foreigners and Bharat residents, but both are now Madhuban residents. Achha. To all the souls everywhere who are master bestower souls, who constantly receive greetings from the Father, to the fortunate souls who constantly stay in pleasure, to the great souls who constantly bring about newness in themselves, to the most elevated souls who are to become angels and therefore deity souls, Bapdadas, love, remembrance, and greetings at every moment, and namaste. That's quite a lot, no? So you can see this part of the Murli, which is really the main body, because the next part of the Murli, Baba is meeting groups. But you know, just in 1.5 pages, Baba really summed up the whole of Gyan, actually, but in such an amazing way. You know, so often people think about spirituality as being dry and full of discipline, and Baba just changed the whole meaning. It's about being happy, celebrating, festivity, and at the same time, Baba announces, well, this next 4 years is tapasya. So just to be able to see that when that connection with the Supreme takes place, everything of ours changes. And that's it. How do we make that ultimate connection? That there's nothing between me and Baba. So now Baba meeting groups. The first one, do you experience yourself to be unshakable and immovable souls? On one side, there is upheaval, and on the other side, there are you Brahman souls who are constantly unshakable. The more upheaval there is there, the more you experience you're unshakable and immovable stage, increasing internally. No matter what happens, the easiest method of all is to use nothing new. Nothing new. Do you feel surprised? What is happening or what will happen? There is surprise when it is something new. If you haven't thought about something, you haven't heard about it, you haven't understood it, and it happens suddenly, you are surprised. So let there not be any exclamation, but a full stop. The world is one of confusion. Moonj. So the word in Hindi for confusion is moonj. Whereas you are those who stay in pleasure, moj. So that's the two rhyming words. For trivial things, the world will think, what can we do? How can we do this? Whereas you are always in pleasure and your confusion has ended. Brahmins means pleasure, whereas warriors mean confusion. Sometimes there is pleasure and sometimes there is confusion. All of you say that your name is Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. You are not warrior Kumars and Kumaris, are you? You constantly stay in the happiness of your fortune. You constantly and automatically have one song playing in your hearts. Vah Baba and Vah my fortune. This song plays automatically. You don't need to play it. It plays eternally. All cries of distress have ended, and you now say, Vah, Vah. The majority cry out in distress, but very few who say, Vah, Vah. So what will you remember in the new year? Vah, Vah. Whatever you see in front of you, whatever you hear, whatever you say, everything is Vah, Vah. Not hi, hi, that is cries of distress. Not oh, what has happened now, but instead, Vah, whatever happened was very good. Even if someone does something bad, transform the bad into good with your power. I remember once we were in a bus. It actually happened right in front of the center here. A whole lot of us was going to Nelspread. Daddy Ratan Moini was coming and we had a retreat. And Sister Vedanti got into the bus with us to go to Nelspread. And so, going to retreat, boxes of toli and biscuit. And there was one big tin of toli right in front. I don't know who was shuffling and the whole box of toli fell and all the biscuits crushed. And before anyone could say anything, Vedanti said, good omen, good omen. And anyone thinking who did it, why they did it, she said, good sign, very good sign, good omen. It's like you bust a coconut before you start the task. It's just our attitude, but how much waste can otherwise be created. So Baba is saying, don't think about anything bad happening, just change it. So even if someone does something bad, transform the bad into good with your power. This is transformation, is it not? There cannot be anything bad in your Brahman life. Even if someone insults you, it is the greatness of the person insulting you that he is teaching you the lesson of tolerating. It is his greatness that he becomes your master. At least you came to know how much tolerance power you have. So is that bad or good? There cannot be anything bad in the vision of Brahmins. Nothing bad can be heard by the ears of Brahmins. This is why Brahmin life is a life of pleasure. If it is something bad at one moment and something good the next moment, then there cannot be pleasure. You constantly have pleasure and nothing but pleasure. Out of the whole cycle, Brahmakumars and Kumaris are elevated. Even the deity souls are nothing compared to the Brahmins. Always maintain this intoxication. Be constantly happy and keep others constantly happy too. Remain happy and keep others happy. Do not say, well, I am happy anyway. No, let it also be, I also keep everyone else happy. I remain happy anyway is being selfish. What is the service of Brahmins? You give knowledge for happiness. Then Baba meeting the second group. No matter how much the elevated souls of the world are remembered, you are so much more elevated than them. The Father now belongs to you, so you have to become so elevated. You have become the most elevated. Always keep it in your awareness that the highest on high Father has made you into the most elevated souls of all. Your vision has become so elevated. Your attitude has become so elevated. Everything has changed. Now, if you look at anyone, you look at them with soul-conscious vision, and your attitude for everyone has become benevolent. Brahman life means your vision and attitude have become elevated for everyone. In Baba meeting the third group, do you experience yourself to be stars of success? Where there are all powers, success is your birthright. No matter what task you carry out, whether it is for the livelihood of your body or for godly service, before carrying out that task, have this faith. It is a good thing to have faith, but become a soul who has this practical experience and maintain your faith and intoxication. All powers are the easy way to have success in this Brahman life. You are the masters of all the powers. You are the masters of all the powers. Therefore, whatever power you order at any time, it becomes present in front of you. Some servers become ready for service whenever you order them. In the same way, let all the powers be under your orders. The more you remain set on the seat of a master, almighty authority, the more all the powers will remain under your orders. When you get off the seat of this awareness, even slightly, the powers will not obey your orders. With servants too, some are obedient, whereas others cause a bit of trouble. So, how do all your powers behave in front of you? Are they obedient? Or do they arrive a little late? Just as your physical organs work under your orders, whenever you tell them to do something, in the same way, these subtle powers should also be functioning under your orders. Check throughout the day were all these powers under my orders. Because only if these powers stay under your orders from now on will you be able to achieve success at the end. This practice over a long period of time is needed for this. So in this new year, have the special practice of making everything work under your orders because you want to attain the kingdom of the world. Do you not? Before becoming a world sovereign, become a self-sovereign. Faith and intoxication are giving every child the experience of the flying stage. You double foreigners are lucky because you have come at the time of the flying stage. You don't have to work hard to climb up. Tilaks of victory are constantly shining on your foreheads. These tilaks of victory will enable others to receive happiness because the face of a victorious soul is always cheerful. Seeing your cheerful faces, everyone will be attracted to that happiness because souls of the world are searching for happiness. Therefore, when they see the sparkle of happiness on your faces, they will become happy themselves. They will realize that you have experienced some attainment. As you progress further, your faces with the attraction of happiness will bring souls closer. No one will have time to listen to anything, and so your faces will serve those souls in a second. When all of you also saw that love and happiness, you became Brahmins, did you not? So you have to do this type of service in this year of Tapasya. Number 4, the 4th group. Are you cooperative souls who remain constantly stable in the stage of belonging to one father and none other? It is easy to remember one, whereas it is difficult to remember many. There is so much happiness in letting go of the expansion of many and staying in the experience of belonging to the form of the essence, the one Father. Happiness is your birthright. It is the Father's treasure, and so the Father's treasure is the children's treasure. The Father's treasure are the children's birthright. Baba says, when a treasure belongs to you, you have pride in it being yours. So whom have you received it from? From the imperishable Father. So whatever the imperishable Father gives would be imperishable. The intoxication of the imperishable treasures is imperishable. No one can take this intoxication away from you, and it is not an intoxication that would be harmful. It is the intoxication that brings you attainment. The other intoxication is such that it makes you lose your attainment. So whom do you constantly remember? The one Father and none other. If there is any second or third person, there would be conflict. Whereas when there is one Father, you have a constant stage. It feels very good to remain merged in the ocean, in the love of one, because the original form of souls is that of remaining constant. Greetings for the auspicious beginning of the new year at the time of farewell. Who knows what time this would have been? Definitely in the early parts of the morning. So then Baba says, congratulations for every moment of special new zeal and enthusiasm to all the lovely and lucky children from everywhere. I'm just reminded that so often when Baba would come, we'll be sitting there, then we'll go and have our lunch, our dinner, come back again. If we're a little bit tired, nod off a little bit. And Baba is there sitting, and would have been just like that this evening as well. Baba sitting throughout the whole constant stage, just giving, giving, giving. And in between, we have done a few things and even going here, there in our minds. So Baba says, congratulations for every moment of the special new zeal and new enthusiasm to all the lovely and lucky children from everywhere. You are diamonds. Yourself and your lives are also diamonds. And so let it always be diamond morning, diamond evening, diamond night. With this method, you will very quickly establish your kingdom and then rule there. You would love your own kingdom, would you not? So now bring it about quickly and then rule there. You can see your own kingdom in front of you, can you not? So now become angels and so deities. To all the children everywhere, especially accept multi-million-fold love and remembrance. Those from abroad and those from this land have very good zeal and enthusiasm for tapasya, and where there is tapasya, there is automatically service done. Congratulations for constant success. Each one of you has to show such newness that the whole world looks at you. Become a lighthouse of newness. Acha, let each one of you accept for yourself love, remembrances, and congratulations. And then the blessing. May you remain light with your pure thoughts and elevated company, and dance in happiness as an alokik angel. May you remain light with your pure thoughts and elevated company, and dance in happiness as an alokik angel. For you Brahmin children, every day's Murli is pure thoughts. You receive so many pure thoughts every morning from the Father. Keep your intellect busy with these pure thoughts and constantly stay in the Father's company. And you will become light and constantly dance in happiness. The easy way to become happy is not to remain, the easy way to remain happy is to remain constantly light. Pure thoughts are light and waste thoughts are heavy. So constantly keep busy with pure thoughts and be light and continue to dance in happiness. And you will then be called an Alokik angel. And then the slogan, the form of sustenance of God's love is to be an easy yogi. Shanti. So just another one thought, which is quite interesting. You know how we have in the Sakar Murli essence, question, then dharana points, and then blessing and slogan. In the initial stages, after Baba became Avyak in 69, Baba's orders or Baba's directions were that you will continue revising the Murlis. So just like how the Murlis, the main body is there, the brother used to take out the question essence, but there was one additional thing. It used to be called, one is essence for Dharana, but they used to say orders. And those were like heavy things. So after a month, they took them out because I think everybody was rejecting them. But it's really interesting, when you listen to Baba, sometimes they like orders. And he's not even blinking and winking. He's just saying, you better do this or that's it, So it's really lovely just as you listen to what Baba is saying about how the Murli in the blessing, it's like we do know that pure thoughts is the foundation of our lives. But if we keep engaging with others, other people's thinking, other people's ways, which is what we do the whole day. So whether you read a Lokik book, you are engaging with another human's way of thinking, good or bad, but it's a human way of thinking. But if you read an Avyak Murli, if you read a Sakar Murli, what are you reading? God's thoughts. And the Murlis are not so easy to digest because they're different. They're different reading from what we're used to reading. But it does change the attitude. It just changes differently the way we function. And so if you think about the daddies, when you go to them, you may have a worldly problem when you go to them, and they give you some strange answer, like, where did you come up with this will be your thought. Like, I never thought about it. How do they think like that? Because for how many years have they been accustomed to God's way of thinking? So I know people will say, oh, the Murli is the same. We read it. It was some of the same points yesterday and today, but it's true. But what else is inside the Murli? God's understanding, God's way of thinking, God's attitudes. So I can do two things. I can fill my head with lots of things that sound good, that feel good. But can I also get behind God's thinking? So when you read one Murli and you dissect a point of that Murli, what does Baba mean by that? Like in yesterday's Sakar Murli, Baba said something about how this body is functioning totally on the support of the soul. Now, if you read a point like that, if you listen to a point like that, what does it really mean? That eventually the soul will control this whole body. That means the soul will nourish this body. The soul will heal this body. The soul will care for it. It can be so many things. And from there, you can have so many revelations. So it's like a simple point which we know, but if you take it and you understand the depth of it, you will have a complete different way of looking at it. So we need to investigate God's thinking. That's why Baba says churning is so important. The more we let our intellects dive into thinking about what God is saying and try and understand how this can become practical in my life, I'm shifting attitudes inside of me. Something inside of me is changing. And I don't think, like for me, if I think about it after 30 odd years, sometimes it only makes sense now. So how long did it take to listen to the same stuff and for it to register? But while we're listening, our dharana is changing, our consciousness is changing. So that's when the same things that we listen can have a new understanding. So if you ever have this feeling, oh, but I read the same Murli, if you read it 5-6 times, you'll be amazed at how many different elements emerge. So just once off even is not enough, you know. So really Baba does, and that's why he's teaching us. He came specially to teach us because he sent many messengers, he sent many sages, and they didn't quite send the message. So now Baba came personally to share with us. So at least when Baba's here, let's listen to him and let our thinking be guided by what he's saying. And so definitely if we revise this morning's Murli, you will see there's so many lovely feelings and thoughts that we can bring in and hold as the way in which we want to function as well. But it's definitely a Murli you need to go and dissect and have another read that as well. Acha, Om Shanti. So we can actually play a song, and today is Mother's Day, so we will then have our Mother's Day program. So I don't know, Brother Avinal, do you want to play us a song, or?
Yes, I have a beautiful song
and we can continue.
Dedicated. I have a song for the mothers and for the family.
Ranipin, can we hand it over to you to do Murli churning?
Can I play the song first and then Imran? Indrani Ben, I'll play the song first and then you can do the
Great.
chanting.
Thank you, Brother Avinal.
Thank you.
I'm trying to hold my breath, let it stay this way. Can't let this moment end. You set off a dream in me, getting louder now. Can you hear it echoing? Take my hand, will you share this with me? 'Cause darling, without you, all the shine of 1,000 spotlights, all the stars we steal from the night sky will never be enough, never be enough. Towers of gold are still too little. These hands could hold the world, but it'll never be enough, never be enough for me, never
Om Shanti. Good morning. Lovely song, Avina. Brother Avina. Very
Thank you,
nice.
Ben. Thank you. It means that all that we have in this world is nothing compared and will never be enough as our relationship with God.
Definitely, definitely. Yes, so what a powerful Murli. As Usha Ben mentioned that, it will take us quite some time to chant the Murli. Just the first time listening to the Murli is not going to actually give us that great pleasure that we should have, because it's the Murli that allows for us to have such a powerful mind and intellect, and to really create those pure thoughts, good feelings. And this will be the magnet that will attract souls to the peace, and will attract them to this knowledge as well, to attract them to this company, BK company, and they will experience the subtlety. It's very subtle. This knowledge is very subtle. So, as Usha Ben mentioned, that, spirituality may seem to be full of disciplines, and it may be boring, but people are looking for a lot of gross stuff. But once they experience the subtlety, it's very sustaining. And I'm talking from experience, because we were so used to the gross things in life. But we only experience the subtlety of pleasure when we have this great companionship with God. And God did mention today that tapasya is the greatest celebration of all. And it also, tapasya means to experience pleasure with the Father. So the more I spend my time with the Father, I experience so much of pleasure, because who is the Father? He is the bestower. And whatever the child needs, that is actually fulfilled when I am also constant in my company with the Father. And it's just not with the Father, but today Baba says, what are the attainments from Father, teacher, and Satguru? And so when the Father, we receive congratulations from the Father, this also motivates us further. And then the teacher, when the teacher says, well done, the student feels so intoxicated that, yes, I've done something good. And so therefore, the Father is saying, well done. And this allows for the child to pass with honors. And from the Satguru, we receive blessings for every elevated action, make you experience life being easy and enjoyable. And we know the more blessings we receive, the more power we have. We can move forward and allow others to move forward. And so the foundation of our flying stage is Amrit Vela. Baba gives sweet greetings at Amrit Vela. And when we sit for Amrit Vela, even if we are tired, Baba's presence is there, very powerful. And sometimes you feel it's the early morning hours, and you put your alarm on, but inevitably you get up before the alarm. It's because Baba's love is so great. And once you become Baba's child, you experience that deep love from Baba, wanting to give his child all the gifts. So this Murli is so appropriate for Mother's Day, and not only mothers in female bodies, but these days, so many souls, whether they are brother, sister, they all playing the role of the mother as well. And I know some fathers also play very great roles as the mother. So this gift is for all the father's children. So take the special gift of the Sunday's Murli. And I was just thinking about last week's Murli. Baba mentioned the meaning of tapasya is solitude. And this morning's Murli also took my mind to nature, to say that nature is so silent and never makes a noise, but gives us so much of beauty. So when I become, introspective and go into solitude, all that beauty from within begins to emerge. And you may not notice that beauty coming from within, but everyone around you will actually feel this sweetness that Baba was talking about, the sweetness, the contentment, the easiness. These days, everything is so rushed, so stressful. People are frustrated. There's so much of fear, hopelessness. And these virtues that emerge will allow for souls to experience this subtle sweetness, easiness, and contentment. So that's tapasya, going into solitude, will allow for us to become whole. And when we are in that pleasure, then souls will automatically feel that they also want to be in this pleasure. And Baba had given us some checking points as well. So I was also contemplating on this. And I said, well, today I have to also check myself with my mind. Where was my thoughts like? Was I doing service with my mind, sending out good wishes, pure feelings, and using my mind in the right way? Because looking at Baba, he's so constant, no matter what his children may be like, but he's always constantly overflowing with good wishes and pure feelings for each one. And this allows for, when I have this powerful thoughts and powerful feelings for others, no matter what, it allows for the atmosphere to be changed and to become powerful, to change my attitude. As a lovely example Usha Ben mentioned earlier about the biscuits falling and all breaking up. And Sister Vedanti says, very good omens. Yeah, so that was a good lesson for me, because sometimes when something doesn't go right and we think, who did it, what happened, why it happened. So not to spoil the atmosphere. And with my words, the three main things Baba says, souls should experience the sweetness, the easiness, and the contentment. And also, when my mind creates this beautiful thoughts, my words are powerful, then automatically the actions will follow. And other souls will experience this, and they will also have attainments. And so Baba says, this tapasya is also, we are the children of bestower, and we must be master bestowers. And so I like the way Baba says, the receiving is merged in the giving. So how am I using my thoughts, words, and actions? The more I'm giving out, serving through my mind, serving through my words, and through my actions, I'm constantly giving like the bestower, then there is receiving as well. And so, Baba, I like that short sentence that Baba mentioned in the Murli today was, connect with the dot and not. So, when you connect it with not, then Maya's got no space to come and play her games. So just to connect, so simple. Baba makes it so simple and pleasurable that, we have to create that deep awareness. So when that awareness is created, then we can very powerfully connect with that dot. Yeah, and then Baba had many group meetings. which is also very, very powerful. And we must realize where we are right now. We are Brahmins, not warriors. And so no matter what is happening right now, just to realize Baba is with me, and am I using my gyan? Am I using my mind in a powerful way to change situations? Because my mind creates my attitude, and my attitude also creates my destiny. So if I'm going to think success, then my destiny will be successful. But if my mind is thinking confusion, ultimately my destiny will be confusion. So everything starts with the thought. And Baba summed up the Murli very nicely in the slogan today. And he mentioned in the slogan that I can't remember the whole slogan, so I'm just going to check it out. The form of sustenance of God's love is an easy yogi life. Baba is sustaining us so lovingly. And so it's easy yogi life. It's just like being, this Brahmin life is a pleasurable life. And take that sustenance from Baba so much that we can experience this easy yogi life. So thank you so much. Have a lovely day. And remember, Baba is also our mother, and take so much sustenance from our mother. And to all the mothers, very, very happy Mother's Day. Thank you so much, Sister Usha, for this opportunity to share the Murli revision. And to all souls, have a very powerful day. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Indrani Ben. That was beautiful.